move on to our next resource person, that is Dr. Arjun Shekhar PM. He is an assistant professor at Department of Psychology in Christu Jayanti College in Bangalore. So, sir, over to you right now.
Okay, thank you. So, to everyone, happy Mental Health Day. And as we are celebrating Mental Health Day on this October 10th, at the same time, I got this opportunity to interact with all you guys, and I feel so happy that people are started talking about mental health these days, and which help people to overcome their biases or to access to the right medication or right whatever help they're supposed to seek. So I will be just talking about in our current or present situation how these mental health related thoughts or people's attitude regarding mental health, and as well as their attitude towards seeking help. So today, as we are celebrating Mental Health Day, we had a program in our college as well. So we got a resource person from New Hands, and so was talking about how people are considering mental health, even in this era, this modern era, where people are going through a lot of issues, mental health related issues, but at the same time, they are not seeking help. That means they are not seeking a professional help. So there are around 70 to 90 percentage of people are facing a lot of issue, but they are unable to meet a professional to solve their issues. So when we look at this problem, again, what we can see, a lot of biases are there, and a lot of people are not even aware of mental health issues. So very recently, I've gone through, come across a lot of videos where they are just asking people, random people, about health, and all the response they were getting, it's just about physical health. When we ask another person about their health, their answer is just something related to their physical health, and they are not considering their mental health when they are talking about their health. So we are in a situation where mental health is something very important. At the same time, people are not still able to understand the importance of mental health, as well as they are not even able to identify certain mental problems or disorders. Now, I think this kind of discussion will help people to understand that, and to eradicate a lot of biases or certain misconceptions about psychological problems. And yes, as we are celebrating no 2023 Mental Health Day, now people are trying to make this as right. Even the slogan is something like it's a universal right. So we are trying to make this mental health support as a very basic and necessary element to each and every individuals. Now, when we talk about people who are educated in terms of certain available information, or in terms of certain resources, people are able to access to the professionals when they are having problem. But there are a lot of people who are not even able to understand their situation when they are going through psychological conditions. Now, I think we really have to talk a lot about these problems, or at least when we can give a gatekeeper training for each individuals in community basis. So that will help people to identify problems, as well as to help people when they feel that other person is in a need to be changed, or they need some kind of supportive system. Now, there are a lot of people who feels that we are having problem, or when their friends or neighbor, when they are having some kind of problem, we are not able to identify it. Now, as a layman, as a common man, they are unable to identify. If it is a physical problem like a fever, so we might just go and touch the person's body, and we can feel the temperature, and we feel we say that the person might be having fever. If it is cold, if it is some other problem, we are able to identify the symptoms. But when we talk about mental health, what about our common people? Are they able to identify these things? Are they able to identify a person who are going through a very stressful situation? Are they able to identify the signs of stress or distress or depression or some other psychological disorders? So we are in a need where we have to train individuals. We have to keep all these individuals as a gatekeeper, where people should be able to identify all these kind of psychological problems as well, where it is easy for us to suggest another person that you are having this problem and you can consult this person for a betterment. Now, as we don't have that community based interventions or certain supportive system, people are still lacking in consulting to a person when they are in a need, or people are unable to identify their own psychological problems. So if we can start community-based certain programs which makes people aware of these things, if people can identify at least basic signs when they are going through certain psychological problems, or if people can identify certain signs when others are going through the problems, that will help people to consult to a professional and they can overcome the problem very easily. Even now, hereafter, WHO even they are trying to do that. So far a lot of programs are going on, but still we really have to, especially in India, we really have to work on these community-based programs where each and everyone, whether they are educated or they are literate or illiterate, or they are from urban area or rural area, irrespective of all the classes, irrespective of the group, people should be able to identify certain at least certain basic psychological problem, like how they are able to identify fever and cold. So that kind of help, I think, or at least this kind of interaction will help people to talk more about problems. At least people will be getting certain information which will be helpful for the other persons as well. Now, if you want me to talk on any particular topic, I would, do you want, okay, do you want me to talk on any particular aspect or any area? Because I missed, previous session where I'm not very sure what are the areas you have already talked, so I don't want to repeat those things.
I just had talked about the importance of mental health as a subject in upper elementary level in schools. So that's what
Okay,
I spoke about. So yeah.
okay,
Are there
okay.
any questions, Neela, that you have for sir, or anybody from the live also can ask questions?
I think when I joined, ma'am was talking about the tantrums and behaviors, children's behavior which is not inappropriate. So I'll just start from that discussion. As ma'am say, most of the time people are not very sure, or they are not understanding why the child is behaving in certain ways. Now even when we talk about child cry, so there are a lot of types of child cry, and each type of the cry resembling for certain needs. Now, if they are crying in a way that means they need something, or when the child is having pain, the cry is totally different. Same here when we talk about children. So they are showing tantrum, especially most of the time when we are treating the child, only when we are giving attention to the child when they are doing certain negative behavior or tantrum, that reinforce the child to do it again and again to get the attention. Now, for example, if you don't want your child to show this tantrum, every good behavior when the child gives or do, so you have to reinforce the child. You have to encourage the child. So, for example, when the child draws something and they're showing to you, if you are just using your mobile phone or you're talking to someone and if you're not giving attention, maybe the child do certain inappropriate behavior to get the attention. And only if you are giving attention that time, and even if you're not giving attention when they are doing certain good behavior, that makes the child understand automatically that they're only getting attention when they are doing certain inappropriate behavior or certain behavior. So for us, those behaviors are inappropriate, or those behaviors are not proper. So if you want to regulate that, if you want to control these kind of behavior, you can give attention and you can reinforce the child whenever they are doing certain good behaviors. At the same time, when they are doing inappropriate behavior, and if you feel that they are those behaviors what they are doing is not proper, don't give much attention that time. After that tantrum, then you give attention and you just have a talk. That time itself you should show them what should be the appropriate behavior that time. So that helps the child to understand. Otherwise the child doesn't know what is the appropriate behavior there, until otherwise you are not instructing them to. And as a parent, most of the parent, they are unaware of all these things, and they don't know how to respond to each and every behavior or tantrum when the child is showing. So we really have to educate our parent before they are becoming that parenthood. So if it is possible for us to give certain information to them or training program to the parent, and if we can give this information to them, that will help parent to be aware of these situations and they can act accordingly. Same here when we talk about peer pressure. And now, yeah, most of the time, yes, children or even adult, they are no they have peer pressure and they are doing a lot of activities just because of this peer pressure. And most of the time, when I think about a culture, what I feel, we are not giving independent space to the children where they can just think about themselves, or they can just take decision their own. So most of the time when they are in a dilemma, they are depending on parents, or when they need a crucial decision to be taken about their life, most of the time parents involvement is there. And what happens in each and every time, as they feel that this involvement is there, only certain places are there where the adult or emerging adult, they feel that I am free, especially when they are with their peer. So every encouragement when they are getting from the peer, and at the same time, if they are not getting that encouragement or support from their family, they have a lot of tendency to be more to follow their peers suggestions or instructions than their parents. So I think when we have a space in the family, especially with our parents, that helps us to discuss our problems with our parents, and to get certain information or certain suggestion from our parents. And if you're not feeling that that is something stressful, then people or individuals are more willing to follow or or have a proper behavior than this kind of peer pressure. So I think again parenting has influence on peer pressure, or why students, even adults, they are not doing appropriate behavior.
Absolutely. I agree every line and word of you, sir. You were talking about this parenting training. So I just want to share a very funny and interesting fact that you will find a lot of training programs for parents of special children, as
True,
if
true.
special children are the children only their parents need training, but neurotypical children parents don't. That is how the society thinks about that. They are special children, so उनके parents they need training. But I just want to say that every parent needs training. It is, yeah, it's of course a natural and biological process, but parenting doesn't come naturally. Parenting doesn't come naturally, and you find even the society says that we have raised 10 children in our times. You are teaching us how to be a parent. Yes, parenting is something that needs to be learned, and you learn so many things in every day, different day, new thing. I'm a new parent. I know it. Every day I'm learning. Every day I'm, what else I can do? What else I can do? Uh, Getting from my parent, what our parents have done, what not taking the negative and applying the positive. So it is like a daily process. But if you think that no, I have given birth to my child, so I have become the best parent. If you are into that concept, then all these issues will come up. And like you're talking about this addiction. Yes, parenting has a role to play in every phase. And I think there's a question somebody has asked me regarding how do we train our children at home in order to restrain from drug or some other addictions. I feel that a child, the moment he reaches maybe 8 or 10, few topics, few sensitive topics, he should get the information from first-hand information from parents, starting from sex education, what is menstruation, what is addiction, those topics that nobody talks about. Because when the parents don't talk all these to the child, when goes to adolescent age, go to their peers and get all the wrong information, and that's how they get into such addiction. So, in my opinion, I would suggest that the first hand information should come from parents. What is addiction? What is alcohol consumption? What is smoking? How does it affect our body and all? And nowadays, children are very sensitive. If we tell our children it's a sin. If you drink alcohol, it's a sin. Next day, we'll come and say, Mama, there was a big shop outside and there was a big people queue in the line. All we are doing sin. Then what answer will you give to your child? So as a parent also, when we are telling our children, we need to think what we are telling. कुछ भी अगर हम बोल दे, and then the child will only come and question us. So first-hand information and information at their level. Obviously, all information cannot be shared, but a level of information for all the sensitive topics should start at home, so that they, if they have any question also, they come to you to ask the question, and doesn't go outside to find the question. This is what I feel. So, would you like to answer this question to Aishwarya?
True, true. What you said is exactly what I was thinking. Now, when we think about our parenting styles, so when we are we were in our adolescent age, the restriction what our parents were giving, and I had this time where I thought I should not do this when I'll become a parent, and but the reality is most of the time whatever traits of a parents are there that can be reflected in the children when they become a parent. So now whatever suggestions, whatever way of correcting things are our parents are showing, that will somehow influence us when we become parent, and we are more prone to show those kind of characteristics. So until otherwise, when we can make a change by giving certain new way of dealing things to our parents or existing people, I don't think we know a lot of information how to deal in different situations. And especially yes, as in our community, as we don't have a, we don't have something like independent way of dealing things. We are a society where things are collective. So collective societies are something like people are connected to each other, where the pressure is always there, or every action what a person has to take, even if it is something so personal, the parents influence or other relatives influence are there. Now as we are giving information or making certain decisions for the person, it has to be proper, and the person should feel that the decision is something I like. Now for example, when a child now want to go out and they want to just be with their friends, so rather than saying a no, just because we think that if the child is going and they may come with these kind of things, Rather than just thinking and restricting the child, we should inform them properly that okay, you can go and do these things, and please don't do these things. These are appropriate, these are inappropriate. So when we are giving the space, the child will be more responsible. So rather than restricting them to do a lot of things, you give the space to them. And even if they are committing certain inappropriate behavior, you just stop them. Don't respond emotionally or don't respond inappropriately. Rather, you talk to them and make them understand the consequences. And if they are doing this behavior, how they are going to influence in their life. And you can take some certain things which they like and how these things are gonna ruin these things what they really like. So that kind of approach has to be there, and obviously yes, we have to show a kind of empathetic approach even when we are dealing our children, not only in professional settings.
There's another question for you, sir. Ria P. Thomas has asked, disabled person and their mental health, how can we access mental health for the person who are not able to come out?
Okay, so now we that's what I say. Now we don't have a mechanism to identify individuals who are having mental health problems. Now, when we are giving the importance of giving gatekeeper training, it's because we really have to make or know skilled people to identify individuals who are having psychological problems. Now, especially when individuals are not, for example, a person who is not function properly, so they might be having a lot of difficulty, and this difficulty should be rectified by giving certain help, and that mechanism should be available in school level and in community level. And when we talk about district and taluk level, government should have certain proper mechanism to deal that. And especially I feel in our community, the problem, people are unable to identify mental health signs, mental health problem signs, where even if one of our friend, if they are not feeling good, if they are going through some psychological problem, people are not able to identify that. People are unable to identify, so they have less chance to be treated, and so that time they may not be able to take initiate to go and get a consultation most of the time. So if we can make these basic, if we can share this basic information to others, if people can understand at least the basics, signs of a certain psychological disorders, that may help people to access to mental health support system in a better way.
Ma'am, you're not audible right now.
There's a last question, I think, there. Nila, can you read it? I cannot see it properly.
Okay, so Ms. Aishwarya has asked a question that is forgetting too many things an alarming sign of any mental health issues? How to deal with such stress?
Okay. So now, one thing, it may not be related to some psychological problem as well. It's not necessary that forgetting too many things are related to some psychological problem, but there are a lot of signs of certain psychological problem as well. Now these days, as people are so occupied and busy with their own world or with a lot of work, people are doing multitasking, and obviously one of the drawback of this multitasking is forgetting things. Now when we are not consciously aware of what we are doing or what we supposed to do, there is a high chance of forgetting things. And another thing, like when you are focusing only in particular area for a longer time, then again there are chances of forgetting. At same time, there are mental health problems which also causes forgetting. Even if a person who might be having certain issues, high stress, or no, not just stress. When we consider high stress, severe stress for a longer time, that may reflect in their memory. It may not be just because the person is having stress. As they have stress, they may not be able to sleep properly, they may not be able to eat no food properly, and slowly these things again reflect physiologically, and that will hinder their memory capacity. So there is a high chance of having memory problem when they have psychological issues. So it may not be just direct, and indirectly also it can be affected. Ma'am, do you have something to add? Yeah.
No, 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 no. You were absolutely on point. Good. Leela, any more questions are there? Are there any questions? I don't think so. Just check once. Uh, no, right?
There are no
No more
questions,
questions.
but I have a question about this.
Yeah, sure. Definitely ask. Who
Because
you want to
nowadays,
ask?
yeah, nowadays we are living in such a busy world, and we don't get time for ourselves or our family and all. And maybe we might not get time for self-care also. So what do you think that it would be useful for, like doing a self-care routine or something like that for our mental health, which is also good for our mental health?
Okay, okay. Now I think we really have to work on the mindful part. Now, people, as they are busy with a lot of work, and as people are doing things at the same time, so multitasking. So most of the time, we have two kind of thought process. One is control thought process. One is automatic thought process. So when you are not conscious, all the automatic thought process elements are present, where it make a lot of clashes, and it feels like we are having a lot of things, and it drain your energy as well. So what we can do, we have to train certain things, or we have to be skilled enough to deal our things. For example, a person who does meditation every day, they are focusing only into one particular area at a time, where we are giving all our sensation to one stimuli. So when we are doing that, we are able to control all our emotions. We are able to regulate our emotions, even bodily process. And a person who engage with physical activities, so especially group activities. So the person is interacting with other person, and they are much more mindful in that task. You just imagine a person can't think about their problem and play badminton. So they're supposed to, give their attention there for that many time. So when they are spending a good quality attention to a particular stimuli for a longer time, that makes them to control things. So that actually will help people to attentive to a particular stimuli. Again, that will help people to regulate even their emotion. They won't feel that things are overwhelmed. So even if you are engaged with any other activity, where you can just give your attention to only that particular stimuli, that helps. And there are a lot of other aspects as well. So when we talk about mental health, yes, even socialization is one significant area where we really have to consider, because when we think about ourselves, or when we are just thinking about our problem and our own life, most of the time, if we are not feeling good at that time when you're thinking, you might be having a lot of negative thoughts. So your state dependent memory give a lot of input to your brain, which is similar to the emotion. So when you're talking with your friends, you are engaged, you have less chance of getting this kind of negative emotion, even if you have problem. So that's why we always say that you have to share your problems with others. But if you feel that your problem is something difficult, very difficult, and you can't deal the problem, it's always good to consult a professional and seek help from the professional, because a professional can help you in a better way. So small issues and worries can be shared with your friends, but when you have difficulty to do things in your day-to-day life, and if you're feeling very difficult in control your emotion, then I would suggest people to consult a professional, where people can identify what is the real problem, and they can understand the real path where they're supposed to go to overcome the problem.
So you have another question from Sebastian Cyril. Is
Yes.
that how do you know you're with a good therapist? The counselor provided for us at work just tells me to concentrate on my career rather than complaining when I told her about my self doubts and low self esteem.
Okay, okay. So we can't just say that no, a person is a good counselor just because of certain elements. Now there are a lot of different types of therapists, and even there are counselors where they are focusing only on particular problems. Now, if you are dealing with certain problem, and if you know a person who are specialized in that area, you better approach that person, because that person can help you in a better way. Now, if it is a family related problem, there are individuals, professionals who are only working on this kind of area. So you approach that person for that problem. That will be a good step. What you can do. Another thing, are you comfortable with the person? So how far, like how about the person's treatment when they are talking to you? Are you comfortable with that person? Are you able to share properly with the person? Are you feeling difficulty? If you're not feeling difficulty, if you're comfortable, that helps the process. And another thing, you might be having certain problem, and what are you expecting from the counselor, and what are you expecting from the session? If they are able to fulfill your needs, if you are having some problem, if you want to overcome something, if they are able to help you, and if you feel the progression is there, then yes, that is the right person for you. And always when you are opting a professional, you please try to get a person who specialized in that. You can even just check their biodata. You can just check what area they specialized in. Things are available in the, on their profile. So in the website, all these details might be available, and you can even just check with other individuals who already consult another professional who had these similar kind of issues.
Yeah, I would just like to add on what Sir said. What he said is absolutely on point. Sabathidin, this is a technical suggestion basically. Generally, a counselor at a corporate is basically a general counselor, firstly. And secondly, also you got to see that whether that counselor is hired by a third party or hired by the organization itself. Because if it's hired by the organization itself, then I'm sure the counselor will is also instructed to retain their employees. So even if she wants to give some suggestions. She's restricted because of her own career position over there. So that is also a reason where you will find a counselor in a corporate to be giving, same kind of answers to all the employees. Because that is how she's been instructed to deal with the employees. So she's just there to give a support to you. But if you're actually, like that sir said, that if you're really feeling that you're having even severe issues, then of course she's not a good option. She or he will not be a good option for you.
Thank you, ma'am. So is there
Yeah.
any other question?
No, I don't think. Um I think it was a very good session. So many questions. There were so many questions to ask.
True,
Uh,
true.
okay, yeah. Sebastian has said thank you for the response. Okay, before we end the end the session, we just before we all three end, since it's Mental Health Day and being mental health professional, the society thinks that we are we are 100% mentally healthy. That's what the society thinks like. So why not, before ending the session, pledge? We give one pledge of how we can take of our own mental health. We are, of course, taking care of the society, but what about us? We have to think about ourselves also. So let us take one pledge each before ending this live session, how so that we can take care of our own mental health. So let's start with Mila first.
About that. Ma'am, I pledge that I would take care of my clients and also myself. And if I have any problems, I would consult my friends or my seniors or any other psychologist who's there. So,
Good. And over to you, sir.
Yes. So I pledge I would seriously consider my mental health, and I would do certain things which will help my mental health, and which help me to uh, maintain a proper mental health. And always, yes, if I am in a need, or if I feel that things are not in my control, I would consult a professional to help me out, to overcome the problem.
Thank you. Okay, so I pledge to take care of my anxiety. I have severe anxiety, and I'm not afraid to say that. I've been working on it for the last 1 year now, and yes, I have visited a therapist before, and if my situation ever worsens, I will definitely consider myself visiting a senior professional to help me have a healthy mental health. Over to you, Nila. You
Yeah.
can close by saying the vote of thanks.
okay, ma'am. So, as I have known this far, there are many. When I was a child, I never have ever heard of anyone having any mental issues or not. Because no one was able to talk it out, because if they did talk, then the society or their friends or family would say that they are mentally ill and all, and they were so much scared. But as of now, I have known that there are much more people who are approaching as psychologists or mental health professionals, and I do hope that more people understand the importance of mental health, and would also consider visiting a psychologist or a friend to come so that they could also have a better mental health. So, by concluding my session, I would like to thank all the participants who also gave us the strength for this wonderful session. And also, I thank Ms. Sharmishta ma'am and also Sir Dr. Arjun Shekhar for giving us a valuable and wonderful lesson on mental health in both children and also adults. I also thank our the Lamente, also our CEO and Managing Director, Mr. Vipin KV, for giving us an opportunity to understand more about mental health and also uh, making the session come true. So thank you all, and thank you everyone. Now I am concluding the session. Thank you.